Hey guys, Veteran Joystick here. Today we're taking a look at some brilliant new subclass mods for Rogues, Bards, Druids, Sorcerers and Warlocks. Links to all of the mods reviewed will be in the description, so make sure to check those out. The last class on the list adds a level of complete randomness to combat and is a lot of fun to experiment with, so stick around for that one. Before we get started, thank you so much for the love on my recent videos. Genuinely makes my day to have such an amazing community who love Baldur's Gate 3 as much as I do. 1,000 subscribers is now in touching distance, so if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do consider doing so. Thank you so much. Let's get right into it. The first subclass we're looking at today is the only non-D&D subclass on the list, and it's for the often overlooked Rogue class. The Bloodletter is a brutal melee subclass for Rogues. Bloodletters are surgical maestros and wield anatomical knowledge to inflict and exploit wounds, seamlessly incorporating surgical skills to leave adversaries bleeding in the wake of their lethal mastery. In short, the Bloodletter is focused around inflicting bleeding on your enemies and harnessing the power of blood surfaces to gain an edge in battle. If you're at all squeamish, this one is definitely not for you. Its main attack is Bloodletting, which deals slashing damage and inflicts bleeding or severe bleeding, which causes your enemy to take 4 slashing damage at the start of each turn and prevents healing. Creating blood surfaces is an important part of the gameplay loop, and this is done through attacks or the ability Sanguinary Projection, which allows you to throw a jar of blood and soak the area, including the enemies, in blood, creating the status effect Bloody Drenched, which makes enemies vulnerable to necrotic damage. At level 7, the Bloodletter unlocks Bloodbane Corruption, which corrupts nearby blood surfaces and deals massive necrotic damage to enemies standing in those areas. In addition to this, you will also take advantage of the Harvest Blood passive that lets you regain health when stepping on a blood surface. Plus, the Crimson Blink ability allows you to teleport to any blood surface in range by using your movement speed. Autopsy is another really fun attack to use, and it comes in 3 variants, allowing you to dissect your enemies and inflict them with negative status effects. Optics blinds your enemies for 2 turns, Vocalis silences your enemies for 2 turns, and Cerebrum stuns your enemy for 2 turns. This class uses a brand new resource system called Blood Essence, which governs how often you can use your Bloodletter attacks and restores on a short rest. I can't lie, this class is definitely OP, but it's good fun to play with, but I would certainly suggest increasing difficulty to at least Tactician if you want to try it out. Next up, we've got a subclass for Sorcerers, one that allows you to fully embrace your illithid powers, altering the world around you by controlling the magical energy of the multiverse. Aberrant Mind is a Sorcerer subclass taken from D&D 5e and essentially unlocks further illithid powers for you to use and abuse. One of the core mechanics from this class comes from Psionic Spells, which unlocks 11 spells for Sorcerers as they level and allows those spells to be cast with sorcery points rather than traditionally expending a spell slot. They also gain resistance to psychic damage and a new passive, Illithid Hunger, which makes it so that when you land a critical hit against an enemy, they must succeed a wisdom saving throw or become frightened until the end of their next turn. At level 11, they gain a new bonus action, Revelation in Flesh, allowing them to unleash the aberrant truth hidden within. This action allows you to transform into one of 3 different aberrant forms and receive new passive benefits. Aberrant Flight gives you a flying speed of 9 meters and the ability to hover, ignoring the effects of surfaces and difficult terrain. Aberrant Scrutiny turns your eyes pitch black and grants dark vision up to 32 meters and the ability to see invisible objects and creatures within a range of 18 meters. And Aberrant Slithering causes your skin and equipment to become slimy, allowing you to evade any attempt to shove or throw you. Plus, you can use 2 meters of movement speed to free yourself from restraints or grapples. Additionally, Aberrant Mind Sorcerers can also summon a Beholderkin, which lasts until you long rest and can cast Eye Ray on enemies. Not the most effective summon in the game, but it looks cool, so who cares. A solid new subclass here for Sorcerers. Up next, we have a D&D 5e subclass for Druids, one that allows them to draw on the power of starlight. Circle of Stars is a Druid subclass that harnesses the power of the cosmos to wreak havoc on their enemies. Starting from level 2, they can create a star chart, which is a new equipable item that sits in the musical instrument slot. While holding this item, they learn the cantrip Guidance and can cast Guiding Bolt without expending a spell slot. They also unlock a new ability, Starry Form, allowing them to harness the constellation's power to alter their form into one of 3 variants. Archer Form, a constellation archer appears on you and allows you to hurl a luminous arrow as a bonus attack that deals radiant damage. Chalice Form, a constellation of a life-giving goblet appears on you and makes it so that whenever you cast a healing spell on yourself or an ally, you or another ally can be healed a second time. Dragon dragon form, a constellation of a wise dragon appears on you, giving advantage on constitution saving throws and a flying speed of 9 meters with the ability to hover and avoid surface effects. These abilities increase their effects at level 10 when Twinkling Constellations is unlocked and allow you to change between the different forms at the start of each turn. Circle of Stars Druids unlock another new ability at level 6, Cosmic Omen. When cast, it has a 50-50 chance to give you either the Wheel or Woe spell. Wheel gives a new reaction that allows you to increase the roll of yours or your allies' attack, ability or saving throw roll, or Woe, which grants a new reaction which allows you to influence an enemy's attack roll or saving throw. A phenomenal subclass with some brilliant new animations, highly recommended for Druids. Before we crack on, if you're still watching and enjoying the video, please do like it and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Thank you so much. Up next we have a subclass for Warlocks, one taken straight from D&D 5e, a subclass that has made a pact with a deathless being, a creature that defies the cycle of life and death. The Undead subclass for Warlocks brings an expanded spell list that includes spells such as Greater Invisibility and Cloud Kill. In addition to this, it also introduces an entirely new spell, Phantom Steed, which allows you to invoke the spirit of a large horse-like creature, which grants your character doubled movement speed and doubled carrying capacity whilst active. When choosing this class, you'll be given a list of 6 different patrons to choose from, each of which provide different visual effects when casting certain spells. The core mechanic of this class allows you to harness your patron's power by using 3 different passives and actions. At level 1 they unlock Form of Dread, which provides 10 temporary hit points, immunity to Frightened, and a new reaction that triggers when attacking an enemy, forcing them to make a wisdom saving throw or become frightened. Additionally, Eldritch Blast will apply a disease effect whilst in this form. At level 6 they unlock Grave Touched, which allows them to convert their damage to necrotic whilst dealing additional damage on top. At level 10 they unlock Necrotic Husk, providing resistance to necrotic damage and immunity to it when in the Form of Dread form. Also, when reduced to 0 hit points, a massive explosion will trigger and damage every enemy within 30 feet. Another solid subclass here, and one that's entirely faithful to its D&D roots. Lastly, we have an incredible new subclass for everyone's favourite musician, the Bard. College of Spirits Bards conjure spiritual embodiments of powerful forces to change the world. However, what these bards summon isn't always under their control. At 3rd level they gain the Guidance cantrip alongside a brand new ability, Spiritual Focus, which allows you to summon a Jawless Skull, which replaces your equipped instrument. When equipped, this skull provides bonus damage or healing to your attacks and spells. Where this class becomes a lot of fun is with Tales from Beyond, which is a bonus action that allows you to reach out to spirits who tell their tales to you. You then retain this tale until you short or long rest. This ability will randomly give you one of 10 different tales that provide totally different effects which can be applied as attacks or buffs to you and your party, such as Tale of the Dragon that allows you to spew dragon fire and deal massive damage, or Tale of the Brute which unleashes havoc and deals thunder damage to all enemies around you, knocking them prone, or Tale of the Avenger which causes any enemy who attacks the target to take force damage. Lastly, they unlock a new action, Spirit Session, at level 6, which allows you to channel spirits to learn any one spell from the School of Divination or Necromancy and lasts until you long rest. This subclass is amazing and brings an almost unpredictable layer to combat and is a hell of a lot of fun. That wraps up today's list. Check the description for the mod links, and please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. It does me a huge favour. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.